Yes, yes, yes. We did it, bro. We did it. OKC is a city of champions, and I could not be happier, bro. Before I go any further, though, on a serious note, man, let me send my condolences and my prayers up to Tyrese Halliburton and his Achilles, bro. That shit is serious, man. That shit is serious, and we've lost two other superstars to that very same injury in this same exact postseason run. Jason Tatum being one, which was the wild, like that one was literally out of left field. That was the most, like, there was no indication that he had an injury building up to that or nothing like that. That it just snapped, similar to what happened to Kobe Bryant back in 2013. No real rumors or indications about his Achilles or his calf being injured, and then all of a sudden, just a pop. Damian Lillard, he goes into the playoffs with a strained calf, similar to Kevin Durant in 2019 NBA Finals. He ends up with a strained calf muscle. So now Tyrese Halliburton trying to go out there and give it his all in Game 7 after having an amazing Game 6 and really being the difference maker at the beginning of that game for the Indiana Pacers, for them to go ahead and win that game in the way that they did. Definitely want to give him his flowers and his appreciation for what he was able to accomplish in this postseason, because, man, he was the best player in the entire playoffs by far. By far is a stretch. When it came to the fourth quarter, there were three players that you have to really respect in that clutch, and that is Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But Tyrese Halliburton, of them all, had the most moments, had the biggest plays, hit the biggest shots, and took the hearts of teams that a lot of people had advancing to an NBA Finals run, like a Cleveland Cavaliers or a potential Milwaukee Bucks, somehow figuring it out in the playoffs with the Giannis and Damian Lillard. Obviously, Dame goes down with the Achilles, so that's neither here nor there. Obviously, Cleveland was banged up, but you got to play who's in front of you, and essentially that's what it comes down to with this championship win. I know there's going to be a lot of slack on OKC, like, oh, y'all only won because Halliburton got hurt, and that may be true. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Thunder were going to win this game with Tyrese Halliburton being healthy, because the way he started off that game was very, very scary. He made that first three, and I'm like, oh, man. He made the second three, and I'm like, oh, shit. he might be here. He got that third three up, and he missed. But on the fourth one, from about 27, 28 feet, and he cashed it comfortably, I started to panic a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I definitely got worried. But then he goes down just a few possessions later, and, the Indiana still fought. I give them their credit. I give them their props. Indiana fought until the end. They were never... they were down by, 21 at one point. That run OKC was able to piece together from the third quarter leading into the fourth. Going up by 21, I think it was like a 19-2 run that they said at one point. And that's what really did it for the Pacers. OKC outscored them by 14 in the third quarter, 34-20. Now, a lot of that 20 points came from TJ McConnell. If OKC somehow did not pull this out and the Pacers won this game, TJ McConnell had a real argument for winning Finals MVP. Not Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton. Not Pascal. Maybe it's Pascal. But the fact that TJ McConnell would be in that argument with two All-NBA, All-Star type of players, Pascal getting an All-Star and then Tyrese Halliburton being All-NBA for this season for the Pacers, that says a lot to what he was able to produce and bring to the table for the Pacers, man. And without him, this game, last game, Game 4, like, a lot of these games would have looked a lot different without the offensive production. Defensively, what was it, Game 1 where he was getting all those inbound steals? He had like 5 steals. It was just a back and forth battle all game for the majority of the game until that run that OKC pieced together, and then for the series as well. It was just back and forth. OKC losing game 1 and then coming back and winning game 2, securing home court. Indiana goes and wins game 3, locking down their home court. And then OKC wins game 4 with Shea heroics in the fourth quarter. Then in game 5, obviously we know coming back to Loud City, we're going to get that dub. Game 5, go up 3-2. We felt like we had a lot riding on game 6 and could potentially have ended that series in Indiana. We did not come to play. We lost by 30, I think it was. A lot. I couldn't even finish the game. I turned it off at halftime. I'm not gonna lie. It was embarrassing to see, and it was honestly deflating to try to continue to watch. So I had a lot riding on this. I did not bet on the game or anything like that, but I did have a lot riding on this just personally. 13 years ago, watching them lose to LeBron James and the Miami Heat, Brown waving the towel around his head, I'm happy because LeBron James is my favorite player of all time. And that's his first championship that he ever received in his life. The first one he was ever able to win. He should have won in 2011. But I was also crushed on the other on the other end of that spectrum, watching James Harden clutch Russ and KD in his arms as the time winded down off the clock in that fourth quarter, knowing that, or hoping that, or knowing we lost, but with being optimistic that we could potentially be at on this stage once more, if not next year, in a year or two following that. Like it was lined up and looked so great for the OKC Thunder, having drafted, unbeknownst to us at that time, 3 MVPs back to back. And Kevin Durant in 2008, Russell Westbrook in 2009 when I became a fan, and then James Harden in 2010. 3 back-to-back MVP drafts by Sam Presti. That's probably the best 3-year draft by any GM across the NBA ever. And I'm not going to fact check it. I'm not going to fact check it. And not to mention, he drafted Serge Ibaka in that James Harden draft, I think it was. So, you fast forward to this team that we have now, and the way that he was able to construct and mold a team that not only meshed well together on the court, but obviously off of the court. Everybody was just rooting for one another and played together as a family, as a team should. And I've mentioned it numerous times before. I felt that the Pacers have a better team. Like they play better together on the floor. They play more. They just have, and I'll get into that a little later. They have more options that they're able to go ahead and try to utilize offensively. And for OKC, or for them, I feel like that's a better way that a team is supposed to be constructed and play the game of basketball. But in OKC stance, they're more built on the defensive side, having a Lou Dort, Jalen Williams. Obviously, Shea is one of the best defenders, two-way players in the league. I could not stop teasing when Alex Caruso got on his microphone interview with Lisa Salters at the end of the game. My eyes are red because I was crying, bro. Don't judge me. This is I'm passionate about this team, man. I've never wavered. There was a point in time after Russ was traded where I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it when we got Chris Paul. But things never really, I can't even say things never really looked that bad. They weren't bad enough for me to abandon my fandom completely. It was just so hard for me to accept the fact that we traded James Harden, let Kevin Durant go. I mean, we couldn't really do nothing about Kevin Durant. He was going to do what he wanted to do in free agency. But we traded James Harden, lost Kevin Durant, and then we ended up trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook in the same offseason. And it was just like, I didn't know how to feel. But to stick around and witness what has transpired over the last 6 seasons since those trades have taken place, 6-7 seasons, however long it's been, I couldn't be happier, man. The team around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams obviously being his road dog, number 2, All-NBA, All-Defensive player. I don't know why they keep calling him an All-Star. He's an All-NBA player, All-NBA third team. He's solidified. And now the fact that this team or it is a team of champions. Like I was on the reason this video is coming out a little late is I was on the phone with my brother. He called me. My other brother texted me. My other brother texted me. One of my boys that I work with, he ended up texting me. Like it's just been the people that actually know, they know. Like I speak about this whenever it's about a conversation about basketball. You will hear about my Thunder because I love the team that much, and the fact that we did not squander it, although we were very, very close to losing this game. I will give the Pacers credit. They played their ass off in this game. And I know I'm not talking too much about the game, but what much is really there to talk about when the season is over? The championship was won. I'm not breaking down statistics and analytics and none of that. The game was won. I will say for Bennedict Mathurin, though, like he played a hell of a game. Bounce back game a little bit too late. And if they had Halliburton, maybe, he wouldn't have had this type of game. But either way, this, for Bennedict Mathurin, if I'm not mistaken, he's a restricted free agent going into this offseason. If I were somebody looking for a player to be a number 2 option on my team, like one of the young teams, like a Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets, I mean, they got Brandon Miller over there, but just Utah. Not really. He don't want to play. You don't want him in Utah, but just any team that is really looking to invest in a young player. Obviously, we see the Houston Rockets trade away Jalen Green, so they just got so much over there anyway. There would be no room for Ben, but just any team willing to invest in a young, up and coming guard that has the promise of a two-way monster. They should over offer and overpay for a Bennedict Mathurin to come to their team in free agency. If that is the case of him being restricted. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I think I did hear that the other day. For him to come off of your bench and give you numerous 20-point games in the NBA Finals, and in this one, 24, 13 rebounds. He was the leading rebounder in the entire game. Bennedict Mathurin was off of the bench. He also gave you 3 assists and 2 steals. I love the way that this kid plays, man. And if we could have him on my team, I would love to have him on my team. But obviously, that would never happen. But you got to give your respect, and you got to shout out the Indiana Pacers for what they was able to accomplish this season, man. Just a hell of a ride. And it was very, very... It wasn't a storybook ending because it shouldn't have ended like that. Tyrese Halliburton should have been able to go out on his own. But, fate had it the way that they had it. A bug got in my room, so now it's flying all around. Whatever. Like I said, you can only play who's in front of you. We can only play who is in front of us. And I'm not the guy to say it. And, I've defended them against it because I've defended other teams against before. And I'm saying it now. I've said it before. You can only play who's in front of you. The Indiana Pacers, like I said, Dame, Achilles, first round. Second round, they had the Cavs beat up. Darius Garland, toe injury, just had surgery. Evan Mobley, I forget what was wrong with him. DeAndre Hunter, he had like a thumb injury or something like that. And then Donovan Mitchell just trying to give it his all. Numerous, damn near dropping 2 50-point games, like just going balls to the wall and giving it his all to try to give the Cavs any chance of staying alive, and it just wasn't enough. Gets to the third round, you go against a New York Knicks team who had no injuries, no major injuries, but Cat got a little beat up in the series. Jalen Brunson wore him down, and then you get nothing really consistent from OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges, so they kind of cakewalked their way to the NBA Finals, through the conference finals with. No, the conference finals was their longest series. They cakewalked their way to the conference finals through the injuries. And I respect every basketball player that puts it on the line and goes out there and plays. And I strongly feel that you just got to tell it like it is. It was a cakewalk. They didn't have Damian Lillard in Milwaukee. And I won't say that they didn't work their ass off because the comebacks were real. They made history, bro. They were the most historic team in the playoffs I've ever seen. Damn near every game, it's like the Pacers were the first team to do what so-and-so and so-and-so. I give them the respect. And I don't even know where I was going with that. I completely lost my point. But shout out to my Thunder, man. I'm going to just go ahead and get out of here. Kevin Durant got traded earlier, so I guess that's something. I couldn't be happier, bro. I couldn't be happier. I don't even know, like, I'm off the next 2 days, so I'm just about to be just like rewatching the games. I'm about to be rewatching the entire finals, bro. Just chilling, watching the finals again, just so I can relive those moments of where we went wrong in game 1, why we won game 4 the way that we did. Like, there's so much to take away from this NBA Finals, not only for myself, but for the league as a whole, for fans as a whole. Like, we got our first Game 7 in 9 fucking years. LeBron James, the block, that was 9 years ago. We got to stop complaining about what teams make it and what teams don't. Just because you're a super fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, or you're a super fan of the Golden State Warriors, and they don't make it for the however many years in a row. I mean, obviously they both have won championships this decade, but just because the finals is not hosting one of those major markets doesn't mean it's not good basketball. Are we delusional? Did we not see the type of basketball OKC played all year? And don't get me, I'm not even going to pretend as if they played perfect basketball defensively. They foul a lot. They're very physical. But you can't call every foul. And the team that sets the tone physically from the jump, that's how the refs are going to call the game. And I'm sorry to say, we're the more physical team than 99% of the teams in the league. And probably the most physical, probably outside of the Detroit Pistons, who intentionally be physical. That's their identity. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I really need that rhetoric or that discussion around small market team this, ratings this. Who gives a fuck about TV ratings? None of us get paid off of what type of ratings or what type of viewership the NBA gets off the NBA Finals. We don't. Who gives a damn? If you enjoy it, enjoy it. If you want to watch it, watch it. If not, this damn bug is on my nerve. Messed up the whole video. But like I was saying, if you enjoy it, enjoy it. If not, don't watch it. It's that simple. We don't have to complain about this shit and drag it on for the entirety of the NBA Finals. We're not even covering what's happening in the finals or how these teams got here. We never built anything up, and we do half-ass promotions of the NBA Finals before the games. They introduced lineups halfway through the series. I think it was Game 5 where they finally was like, oh, we should probably put lineups back on TV for the first time since 2013, mind you. They didn't have the Larry O'Brien on the court because of safety hazards. And if that's the case, how the hell is the in-season tournament court not a safety hazard with all the flashy colors that they got and all the decals and all the shit that they put on the court? How is that any different from putting one singular clean-ass Larry O'Brien right under the team logo in the middle of the court? But we get some holographic bullshit that changes between the Larry O'Brien and then the NBA Finals word spelling. Like, we got to do better as a league, man. If we really want people to take us serious, we have to do better as a league. And this took a crazy turn for this to be a championship celebration for me. I don't even got like no champagne to pop, but trust me, I'm celebrating. I might even book a flight. It's a 15-hour drive from Ohio to Oklahoma City. I might even book a flight to go to the parade, bro. That's how, like, I need to live in this moment, bro. And if I can, I will. If not, you know, I missed out. Hopefully we go back to back or something like that. But, you know, I'm going to try my best to get there, bro. But with all that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. This has been a hell of an NBA season. It is finally wrapped. It took us until Game 7 of the NBA Finals for the 2024-2025 NBA season to end. But I enjoyed every single moment of it. And I thought I was hyped for this season. I was really hyped for this season. I lost a little bit of it because I was doing school and got a lot of extra curriculars going on, so I couldn't cover the NBA or like I wanted to. I don't care. Next year I'm all in, bro. Like, and it's not even a championship talk, and I already made this promise to myself. Like, I'm all in with like this content shit, bro. Y'all about to see how consistent and just plentiful the content is gonna be, bro. Like, I'm very excited. Not only that we won and I get to celebrate for the next few days until the draft, but I'm excited for the draft. I'm very, very excited for Summer League. Summer League, I found a lot of players last year that I was fans of, hoping that I would see them in the league. One of my favorites being Alondes Williams. He played on the Miami Heat Summer League team, I think, or the Golden State Warriors. I forget. He played on some Summer League team, but he ended up on the Miami Heat during the regular season, so I did see him a couple times, I think. But regardless, I'm excited for this offseason, man. And just stay tuned, bro. Trust me, just stay tuned. I appreciate y'all. This has been a hell of a ride. OKC, your 2025 NBA champions. I can't believe I'm saying that. As always, we enjoy basketball around here, and it's a lot more enjoyment tonight than any other night I've ever been as a 26-year-old man on this earth. 103-91, Game 7 in OKC Paycom Center. We got it done. Shai took home the MVP, the scoring title, and the Finals MVP all in one season. The first player to do so since Shaquille O'Neal in 2000. Dominance. I appreciate y'all, bro. Peace.